Hi everyone, I'm a big citrus lover and this Meyer Lemon Tart is one of my favorites. So let's jump right in and get baking. This is a really simple dough recipe that starts with creaming the butter and sugar. Creaming is when you mix the sugar and butter together and add air into the mix. Now I have the 6-quart KitchenAid mixer, and while it's great for large batches, doing small amounts like this don't mix too well, so I have to scrape it down halfway through. Then we add our salt, 1 egg yolk, vanilla extract, and flour. Then keep mixing it until it comes together. And it should look something like this. Now we just need to roll it out, and I like to roll it out on parchment paper. It just makes it a lot easier to move around and keeps the work area clean. A lot of recipes will tell you to chill the dough before you roll it out, but I find it easier to work with right out of the mixer. Then we want to roll this out to about 2 inches larger than our removable bottom 9-inch tart pan. And you can see how much easier it is to get into the tart pan using the parchment paper. This dough is super easy to work with and is really good at hiding your mistakes like ripping the dough. All you have to do is press it back together and use some of the scraps to fill in the holes, rips or thin spots. You can see it doesn't look that nice right now, but once we go around and press the dough into the side of the pan, it'll look a lot better. I just do a final trim of the dough, and then this needs to chill in the fridge for 30 minutes before we bake it. Now that the dough is cold, we can go ahead and use a fork to add some holes in the bottom to help cook the dough more evenly. I also like to bake my tart shells with some beans to keep everything flat, and to do this we need to cut our parchment paper into a circle by folding in half a few times. Then we measure it and cut it. Add our beans and put it in our preheated oven for about 15 minutes. Then take out the beans and bake the tart shell for about 15 to 18 minutes or until the tart shell is golden brown. So for this tart, I'm using Meyer lemons because, well, they're in season right now. And if you haven't had Meyer lemons, they're delicious. They're sweeter than regular lemons and don't have a big sour taste to them. If you can't find Meyer lemons, you can use 3 parts lemon juice to 1 part orange juice to substitute. This tart would also be great with grapefruits, passion fruit, oranges, but really just any other citrus would be great with this, and you just need to adjust your sugar depending on the fruit. Now we can make our Meyer lemon curd, and to do that we need to juice our lemons. Meyer lemons also have a lot more juice in them. I got 1 cup of juice from 3 Meyer lemons, which is a lot. Then we crack our eggs and add our sugar and lemon juice and mix everything. I forgot to zest my lemons before I juiced them, so make sure you do that. And the last thing we need to do is add our butter. Now to cook this, we're going to put this over a pot with hot water on the stove and whisk this until it sets. We don't need to add any air, but I just use the whisk to keep everything moving so the eggs don't cook and stick to the bowl. Once the butter melts, it's going to set pretty quickly and you can see it getting thicker. I switch to a spatula at this point, and then once the curd is thick enough to coat the spatula and not run off, we know it's ready. Once it's cooked, you want to strain this through a fine mesh strainer, and this is what we're straining out: the zest and part of the eggs, and this is going to give it a much smoother feel. So our curd is ready and our tart shell is cooled off, and all we have to do is pour our curd into the tart shell. Smooth everything out and put it in the fridge for at least 2 hours, or until there's no jiggle when you shake it, but I usually let mine sit overnight. You don't have to fill your tart shell right away. You can cool your curd down and fill it before you serve it. This will help keep your crust crunchier, but you won't have the smooth top on your tart. Here's the tart after it chilled all the way. And a little trick to getting the tart out is to rest the tart on a bowl and take the outer ring off. Now the tart is great as it is, but let's finish it with some powdered sugar, raspberries, and I use these as a portion guide so I know where to make my slices, and then some candied lemons. Leave me a comment if you want to see a recipe for the candied lemons. And that's it, it's ready. See how the curd cuts clean and stands up? This is what you're looking for. It's still going to be super delicate when you eat it, but it's got a nice texture when you cut it. I'll always order a fruit dessert over a chocolate dessert, and I'm not going to say that I ate the whole tart by myself, but I ate most of it. This is a simple and fun recipe to make with your kids and get them baking and learning how to cook. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you next time.